Hello from Walt Disney World. Today I'm doing yet another 4-park food challenge. And this time I'm starting at Animal Kingdom. Generally I would end a challenge at Animal Kingdom, but for what I want to eat today, I have a very small window, so that's why I'm at Animal Kingdom. There's a booth that only opens up on the weekends, apparently, and so I've been waiting for a day where I can come to Animal Kingdom and do this particular challenge that I want to do at all 4 parks. The rest of the parks I'll be totally fine, but specifically here, I needed to come on a weekend, and I do work on the weekend, so I have to go to work later on tonight, so I'm trying to do this challenge as quick as I can. And that challenge is that today I'm going to all 4 Disney parks and eating nachos. Not only is the booth that I'm going to today only open on the weekends, it's only open for lunch, so just for a few hours during the day. Also today is the very final day of Tough to Be a Bug. I never go this way and then go across the bridge. It's slightly more out of the way, but it's worth it. So I'm going to the Smiling Crocodile booth, which is on Discovery Island. I'm not doing Tough to Be a Bug today, but just to be here on the very final day is pretty cool. I don't think that this would have cultivated the enthusiasm that Dino Land did, but I don't know what the wait time is going to be. So it's only a 15-minute by now, but it's attracting a pretty consistent crowd of attendance. So that'll have a pretty lengthy wait time, I think, towards the end of the day, but I'm going right over here, hopefully. So guess what? The Smiling Crocodile is not open. It is open on the app, but it is closed, and I am betrayed. So I can salvage this. I did put a name of order back at, what is that called? Flame Tree Barbecue, and I'm heading to Drinkwalla to get some chips. Not to throw Universal under the bus, but usually like app inaccuracy is more of a Universal thing than a Disney thing. So this is Drinkwalla, and I'm here to get some chips. Okay, I got my chips, my nacho cheese tortilla chips. And now I'm going back this way to Flame Tree Barbecue. I'm so betrayed. The Smiling Crocodile was supposed to be open today, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., but it is closed, just like the Terror Treats booth on the other side of Discovery Island. What I wanted to get from the Smiling Crocodile were the barbacoa nachos, which is barbacoa beef on tricolor tortilla chips, topped with queso cheese, lime crema, and pico de gallo, but they don't have it because they're not open. So I'm an idiot, because at Trilobites they definitely have what I would consider nachos here, but on the menu they're called buffalo chicken chips. They're not called nachos, which is why I wasn't showing up when I was trying to search for nachos. So the problem is that I'd already said that I was here at Flame Tree Barbecue when I thought about Trilobites, so I'm just going to make this work. My preferred seating area is currently pretty full, so I'm gonna go find somewhere else to eat. So there are my Animal Kingdom nachos that I totally didn't take the pulled pork and cheddar cheese off of my french fries and then put them onto my Doritos nacho cheese chips. This does look phenomenal, but just being that it's not nachos that you can actually get at Animal Kingdom sort of sucks with just the premise of what I wanted to do today, but I made it work. That's delicious. Look at those nacho cheese fingers. You know what? That might have been better than anything that I could have gotten at Trilobites. That was actually incredible. But really, what are nachos but chips and meat and cheese? They should definitely have nachos, I think, here at the Flame Tree Barbecue. So I'm leaving Animal Kingdom. Now I've been betrayed by the Smiling Crocodile. This is one last look at the It's Tough to Be a Bug sign before this is walled off tomorrow. But I only have a couple hours to go to the rest of the theme parks before I have to go to work, so I am leaving the park. I don't know which park I'm going to next. Usually depends where I want to end my challenge, but I don't really know. I usually take the Disney transportation, but I'm definitely driving to my next park. I think that I'm going to go to Hollywood Studios. Animal Kingdom and Magic Kingdom are the most involved parks to get to, so I'll probably end at Magic Kingdom. All right, I'm back at the car and heading to Hollywood Studios, where my credibility will yet again be tarnished because the nachos that I'm getting over there are a bit of a stretch. And a few minutes later, I made it to Hollywood Studios, and I'm going to Toy Story Land and getting the tachos. I could take the Skyliner, but I think I'm just going to drive between all the parks today. I think that makes the most sense. It'll probably save me the most amount of time. Maybe not though, because I got parked at the very end of the row, of course. So I'm taking the tram to the front of the park right now. It is really windy today. I'm a little bit nervous about my tachos here being very dense and heavy. Putting in my order for Woody's Lunchbox right now because it is very popular. So the first window is in about 20 minutes. So I chose the earliest window that I could, and I'm just heading back to Toy Story Land. I do promise, by the way, that there will be actual nachos in this Walt Disney World Nacho Challenge video at some point. I don't like to cut corners or have the that's good enough mentality or do something on a technicality. If I do something, I want to make sure that I do it right. But sometimes I can only do what I can do, and then I'll always lean back on, this is just how I'm spending my day. at Disney and you're just watching. There are technically nachos at Hollywood Studios. They're right around the corner over here, but they're just chips and cheese. And I'm trying to get the novelty stuff. If Flame Tree Barbecue had what I ended up getting, but it was on chips instead of fries, that would have been perfect. Over here's where the regular boring nachos are, but I'm going back into Toy Story Land, specifically to Woody's Lunchbox to get the tachos, which is very popular around lunchtime. I'm not a construction vlogger, but it is interesting just to notice the progress of this, because it has taken a significant amount of time just to do what they've done over here. All right, my mobile order is ready, so I'm heading inside Woody's Lunchbox. All right, I got my tachos. That ended up actually being very quickly after I said that I was here. I am ready for this project to be done. It is such a small little area over here, but I'm going to try to find somewhere to eat this. I had to ditch the tray because it was just blowing all over the place, and I was afraid I was going to actually flip my tachos onto the ground, but I'm heading out of Toy Story Land, I think, because there's no seating over here. There used to be seating over here, but that is now gone, so I'm heading into Star Wars Land. There also should be a water bottle refill station over here, which there totally was over by the blue and green milk stand, but I am going to finally eat this. So I'm sitting over here in the corner. Tachos are potato barrels with beef and bean chili, shredded cheese, and signature queso with tomatoes and corn chips with sour cream and a sprinkle of green onions. So I'm going to count this as nachos. Try to get a pretty bite, but I don't think that that's going to happen. Those are so good. I know. So I sat right over here and I'm heading out of the park. I think I'm gonna eat these on my way to the car because I want to make it over to Epcot. Where at Epcot I will actually be getting traditional nachos. At least that's the plan. So far I am 0 for 4 with actually having nachos at Disney theme parks. It's not terribly busy. It's only a 60-minute wait for Rise of the Resistance. And it is like the start of spring break, I think. In just a few months, this entire area is going to be walled off for the new Monsters Inc. land, which is going to be really sad. The closing of Dinoland and Tuck Bug is nothing compared to what the closing for this is going to be. It's going to be ridiculous. I keep thinking it's going to rain, but so far it hasn't, so I'm happy about that, but it probably will at some point. These tachos, dude, are so good. I don't do like top 5 videos, but this is one of my definite top 5 snacks, I think, in the entirety of Walt Disney World. Maybe I'm saying that because I'm eating it though, literally right now, so there's a bit of a bias. All right, I scarfed my tachos down. I don't know if people still say that, but it was delicious, and I'm heading out of the park. I feel like the actual challenge today is going to be just to prevent nachos from getting all up in my teeth. But that was a fun, quick trip to the park. I love these challenges because they just let me run in and out of Disney parks. Disney parking lot tram shoe. I love that this billboard for Lorcana is still here. And I hope that any part of what I've been saying has been comprehensible today because of the wind. All right, back in the car, heading to Epcot. And yet another couple-minute drive. I've made it over to Epcot, where I'm going to the Mexican Pavilion. At least that's the intention, but what sort of obstacles will I encounter here at Epcot? The first of which I've encountered, I parked really far away. Again, I'm just gonna walk instead of taking the tram because I want to start expediting this challenge. All right, made it through security, heading over to the entrance of Epcot, and then back to the World Showcase. I'm starting to feel full, but also motivated, encouraged to do this. All right, heading back to the Mexico Pavilion to get my nachos, and then pretty much head straight over to Magic Kingdom. These flags are waving pretty violently in the wind right now. I hope you can hear me. I might have felt a raindrop. I hope. I'm sorry about this. This is the one day that I didn't bring like the camera mic with the wind muff on it. There's no mobile ordering back over here at the Mexico Pavilion, so I'll just have to stand in line, but it's a little bit later in the afternoon, so hopefully there's not much of a post-lunch rush. The amount of steps that I'm getting in today, I really hope I'm working off these nachos because they are dense. See, I could do the noise cancellation on my microphone, but then it sounds a little bit weird when I do that, so I'm gonna switch it back to the regular microphone setting. So that's where I'm going, over there to get my nachos, and then pretty much sprint over to Magic Kingdom because that's going to take the most amount of time, and I want to make sure that I have time to do that before I have to go to work. So this is La Cantina de San Angel, and they just have regular nachos. I made it from the parking lot to the World Showcase in like 10 minutes. Here it is, La Cantina, and there are the nachos. I was sent all the way down here to order my nachos. I made a terrible decision. This is massive. This could feed a family. I think that I'm going to preemptively admit defeat on this because this is just massive. It's the size of my hand. I'm actually going to take this to eat it somewhere over here, I think, by the pyramid. I think I'll try to find somewhere outside. Also, the Grand Fiesta Tour is reopened. Hooray! So again, look how absolutely huge this is. Did you hear that thud? So these are the nachos. These are tortilla chips topped with white nacho cheese, ground beef and beans, tomatoes, jalapenos, and sour cream. And this was probably double the price of the other food that I've gotten today. So this chip has a little bit of everything on it. That is exactly what I wanted, but I am so full. Look how windy it is. This is intense. I'm just sitting over here in the corner, Pyramid. It's also pretty busy again today because it is the start of spring break. So I ate my nachos right over here, or attempted to eat as many nachos as I could. I absolutely overindulged today with this challenge, and I still have to go to Magic Kingdom and order more nachos, even though I'm over nachos. I call this a challenge. It's more of like a quest, because if it was a challenge, then I'd probably commit to eating everything that I get, but because I'm just going to all the parks and ordering the same thing, I call it a challenge. But I think I'm heading to Magic Kingdom now. I am so over nachos. That was such a huge portion, though. That would absolutely feed a family, or if you were just ravenous and came to Epcot and got a margarita, that would go amazing with that. Also, because I was coming to Mexico, being the first pavilion in the showcase, that's why I didn't want to take the Skyliner and then taking the monorail over to Magic Kingdom, which I could do, but I think I should just drive over there. I do want to say that I do like nachos. Nachos are amazing, but this mini nachos was not smart, which is weird because I ate a burger at all 4 parks. How did I do that? One positive is that, up until now at least, it has not rained yet. I thought it started to rain earlier, but I guess not, which is good. That was another quick trip to the park. A little bit stressful, such is the case of theme park challenges sometimes, when the challenges are usually riding every ride at a theme park, but mine is spending $50 and half my day eating nachos. I do those challenges too, but these are fun to do sometimes. Gonna stop over here really quickly to refill my water bottle. I'm trying to be better about this, and it makes Brennan happy, so that's important. If I do this food challenge again, it needs to be something a little bit less heavy. But this was next on my list, so I needed to commit to it and try it. All right, I made it down to the tram, and I'm almost to my car. It's sort of morbidly sad that the entire purpose of me doing this on a weekend day was because I wanted to get nachos at Animal Kingdom that I did not end up getting. And now I ate just way too much before I have to go to work, which is not smart. All right, off to Magic Kingdom for what will probably be the final nachos that I ever have in my life. And again, just a few minutes later, I've made it to my final park of the day, Magic Kingdom. Most people go to Disney World to ride rides and have fun, and I'm eating nachos! All right, I decided to walk because the TTC is right here. I have about an hour to make it into Magic Kingdom, go back to Pecos Bill, Tall Tale Anna Cafe to get my nachos, and then go to work. I love when you think you could beat the tram, and then the tram that you would have been on just drives right past you. Made it through security, and the monorail that I think that I'm going to get on just pulled up if I'm quick about it. I could totally get my own cabin down here. This is pretty cool, just to have this opportunity in the middle of the day where there's nobody else on the monorail with me, heading through the Contemporary, and then over to Magic Kingdom. I don't think there's really much of any update about Magic Kingdom. This is so cool. I never get to talk this like openly and confidently about my monorail trip over to Magic Kingdom, because there's always people on the monorail with me. Guess what, everybody else on the monorail? I had too many nachos today and I regret it. Doesn't seem too busy right now, which is good, but I'm going straight back to Pecosville. I could take the train back there, but I might just walk. I don't know. What do you think, other people on the monorail? Oh no, there's nobody else with me. Oh, I'm falling over. All right, I got off of the monorail and I'm heading to the entrance of Magic Kingdom, and I'm putting in my order for Pecos Bill for some nachos. So I'm looking at the menu now. I think I'm gonna get chicken because I've gotten pork and beef today, and it's a nacho bowl, which is interesting. Also, it only took like 15 minutes to make it from the parking lot here. So the train is pulling into the station right now, so I actually might try to take this back to Frontierland. Might as well try to get a ride in today at the parks. And that worked out pretty great. They're loading literally right now. All right, I got my seat on the train. I'm sitting on this side. I usually sit on the other side of the train. Hooray!
We've reached Frontierland Station, everyone, so sit tight and hold those horses until we've come to a complete stop. If it isn't hard, these carriers doors all the way off the platform before unfolding. Watch your step now. This is Frontierland Station.
Okay, we made it to Frontierland. Big Thunder Mountain is still closed. Oh no, there is inclement weather coming. Oh no. Tiana's By Adventure is using a standby line now, as is Guardians of the Galaxy, which I went to Epcot the other day. Also, I went to Epcot today, but I went to Epcot the other day, and it was interesting to see just them using standby over there for Guardians, and now over here for Tiana's. Although, speaking of which, it looks like the logs have stopped over here, but I'm heading over to Pecos. My food is ready. This is the moment I've been training for. Okay, the logs are running. My final nachos of the day, and here they are, my final nachos of the day. I even got a little takeaway bowl. Help me, Pecos Bill. Back in my day, we could adorn our nachos with any topping we desired, and we could pile it high to the sky. Seems pretty quiet in here right now, which is good. I think I might try to go outside, though, because it feels really good today, and I'm trying to enjoy the good weather while we have it in Orlando. So this is the nacho bowl with citrus chipotle chicken, and then it came with house-fried corn tortilla chips, with stewed pinto beans, chipotle queso, and pico de gallo. This does look really good, but there's no absolute way that I could possibly finish this. Yet again, this is not going to be pretty, but I pretty much got everything on this chip, I think. Okay, I wanted to have a variety of meats, which is why I got chicken, even though chicken is definitely my least favorite and most desirable meat to have on nachos. It was alright, but it was my least favorite nachos of the day, and I do wish that we could still, like, I don't know, have like a variety of toppings on this and sort of customize it. But this is absolutely going to be my dinner tonight when I get to work, but I'm heading back to the front of the park. A parade is about to come down the street, so I'm heading this way, I think, and then cutting through Frontierland, or cutting from Frontierland through Adventureland to Main Street. Of course, I have to come over to the Rivers of America and pay my respects because look how beautiful it is. It's only a matter of time. Maybe, I don't know. The permit's got approved for this, so who knows, but I'd also like to think that they're going to focus on the other projects that they've greenlit and are currently working on. But that is a devastating acceptance process for a future day. I love doing these challenges because it makes like the in-between trips, like the genuine trips to Disney, just more fun because like this trip is just focused on something to accomplish and then getting to come back with Vernon or just getting to ride rides. It makes it more special. With this challenge though, if there's anything that was interesting to me is that certain places that I thought might have nacho options, like a chili cheese nachos here at Casey's Corner, or what was it, Flame Tree Barbecue actually having like cheese and barbecue nachos, like those not being options was interesting. The Philharmonic is going by. A few days ago, or like a week ago, the Disneyland band came to Magic Kingdom and performed for the very first time, and that was awesome. But I'm heading out of the park now, finally back to the car, going to work, full of nachos, but full of happiness too. That might have been the quickest trip to Magic Kingdom that I think that I've ever had. So it'll be even more special to come back and not have to eat nachos and just ride rides at Magic Kingdom like everybody else. Look at this, I'm getting on the same monorail back to the TTC that I took to get to Magic Kingdom. All right, I'm off to the parking lot. I definitely do not have an entire car to myself this time. So from parking to going to Magic Kingdom to right now, getting off of the monorail, heading back to the parking lot, that took less than an hour. So I was going to take the tram, but they called for no further boarding as soon as I walked up, so I am walking. There's the tram right there, just pulled up that I would have been on, but I'm almost to my car anyway, and I needed to walk off these nachos today. So thank you for coming with me to all 4 Disney parks today to eat some nachos. I want to rank them, but I don't think that it's fair. The Animal Kingdom hybrid nachos of getting the pulled pork and putting them onto Doritos, it was good, but I don't think that it counts. And then the tachos not actually being nachos. Definitely by far the Epcot Mexico nachos were delicious. Definitely at the bottom of the list would have been the Magic Kingdom nachos that I got here at Pecos Bill. But it was a great day eating nachos. I will never do this again. I don't recommend it at all, but this is what I did with my day. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Have a great day, and goodbye.